Hey guys, welcome to my monthly Q&A. My August Q&A. What day is it? It's August 14th. So the middle of the month. It's a Monday. And I'm doing my Q&A. So looking forward to answering some of your questions. And I did start a couple minutes early. I was free, so just like, you know what? Let's start this Q&A a bit early. Now, I do see that there's some questions already in the comments. Matthew Brock says, hey, Matthew. Is this the first time you've been on a Q&A? I think so. All right, well, let's get to some of Kenneth's questions. He has a couple. And of course, if you've ever done a Q&A with me, ask questions in a chat. Comic questions, TV, movies. If you want to talk about my comic book, like Father Like Daughter, They Call It the Dancer, ask questions about that. YouTube stuff, go ahead. But let's start with some of the comments we have here. So Kenneth's first question is, Kat, do you think in Supergirl issue 12, them building up the new Fatal Five and Emerald Empress also is a tease for the Legion of Superheroes to return and rebirth soon? I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm not a huge Legion fan, so I don't really have a huge, big opinion on it. Oh, and Jay's in the comments. Hey, Jay. He says, Cat. Question 2 from Kenneth. Have some of the DC Rebirth titles started to hit a lull at this point? A bit now, almost 2 full years. Yeah, I think there's ups and downs for a lot of the titles because there hasn't been a lot of new titles on the roster. It's a lot of the same ones, and some of them are double shipped. So I feel like some titles we get too frequently. So yeah, there's some lulls, but then I think it gets to their highs too. There's great moments for the comics and then the low moments, but hopefully we will get to see more comics in the lineup soon. And we have Nathan who says hi. Next question is from Kenneth. Do you think we will see Lois Lane or Lana on the CW Supergirl TV series soon, maybe in season 3? I hope so. I would like to see both characters. That'd be nice. Another question from Kenneth, and last one for now, Kat. Do you think Rey could be either a Kenobi or a Skywalker? Will we find out maybe in Star Wars Last Jedi? I think we will find out in Last Jedi, and I think she's a Skywalker. All right, we got a question from Jay. Isn't it true that Jay is the best on Comic Frontline? Should be named Supreme Ruler of all. If everyone else on Comic Frontline is listening, yes, Jay is the supreme of all. The best out of all of us. So, great question, Jay. All right, yeah. So keep coming with the questions. I guess as I wait for more people to trickle in, we have about 6 viewers right now because I did start early. I could talk about what's coming up for the channel. So what is coming up? August, I will be in Wizard World Chicago. So if you live in Chicago, finally I'll be out of the tri-state area for exhibiting like Father Like Daughter, and I will be in Chicago. First time I've ever been to Chicago, so that should be fun. And all the Short Views media will be there. So it's going to be not just my title, but a lot of awesome Short Views titles, and we have a lot of plans for it. They Call It Dancer will be there too, and I'm sure Sean, my editor, is planning a lot of good stuff there. So if you live in the Chicago area, definitely book your tickets for Wizard World Chicago and see us because we got a lot of cool plans. So that's going to be the end of August. And I'll be busy with that. TV show-wise, just reviewing Teen Wolf right now because it is last season. I might review Spider-Man, the cartoon. I think I'll try. I don't know if I'll be able to review the pilot on time, but I'm going to definitely try to review Spider-Man. If I like the show, I'll try reviewing it episode by episode. And we will be covering that on Media Madness, not this coming week, but next week, or not this week, but next week. This Wednesday, though, we have the Harley Quinn versus Joker. Harley Quinn and Batman movie coming out, and we'll be covering that on Media Madness on Wednesday. So I will have a movie review for that on Tuesday. So look forward to that. If not Tuesday, it'll be early Wednesday. I'll have that up. But aiming for Tuesday for that movie review. Big solicits are coming out too for Marvel. So I might have the Marvel commentary article on the Marvel Report. So always keeping myself busy. We're working on some cool announcements for like Father Like Daughter, which we teased a bit on social media. So if you follow us on our Facebook page, you can see what we're teasing. It's kind of obvious what we're teasing, but we'll have the full announcement on that Thursday of Wizard World Comic Con. So that Thursday, we'll have the announcement of what we're doing and when we're starting it. And it's a big collab project with me and Wayne as we have these hiatuses between Kickstarters. Just some fun goodies and also just a fun collaboration with Wayne with this project. So I'm really excited about that. And hopefully you guys have fun with it too. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys backed up the Kickstarter, if you got your comics, did you enjoy it? Definitely would love to hear your thoughts on that. All right, well, I babbled enough. Let's see some questions here. Yes, we do have some more questions. Kenneth says, thoughts on Jack Kirby with this year being the 100th birthday. What do you think of his creations? Obviously, I mean, Jack Kirby is a huge comic book creator. There's some stuff that I'm like, especially his DC stuff, I'm not as interested in. Like they've been doing all these one shots for Jack Kirby, and I'm just not as interested in that stuff. But you know, he's such a big legend in comics, and comics wouldn't be the same without him. So it's great that DC is doing that celebration for him. All right, Wally, what was the worst comic you've ever read? I get that question a lot, and I don't really know. I don't know what was the worst comic I read this year. Maybe I don't know of all time. But yeah, we do the worst comic of the year every year on the Frontline Awards. If you want to go check that out, we've done those a couple of years. How many years have we been doing that now? I think it's like 3 or 4. So you can go look back and see our collective worst issue of the year. Those are always fun. We love doing the Frontline Awards in general. All right. Next is from Kenneth. Kat, what are your top 5 live action superhero costumes of all time? I think it's more of a topic video. So Kenneth, if you want to suggest that on another video, it's kind of hard for me to collect every single costume in on my mind and then rank it in order. So definitely, I think that's more of a topic video. We got Jay. What is your worst experience as press and exhibitor of a con? You know, I haven't had many bad experiences at conventions, which is great. I think just for presses, it's very tiring. That's the only thing, you're always running around, but I have a blast doing it. But yeah, it's very tiring by the end. Me getting sick after, Jay knows that. I've gotten con crud a couple of times. That's the worst. Exhibiting, I don't know what the worst is. I guess when you're really being energetic all day and people just like kind of swish you away, like after you're like, hey, how's it going? And people could like say rude comments back. That's fun. I don't know if other people at conventions know how long and how energetic the other side is. So I guess that's the one downside of exhibiting. But let me know, guys, what if you've exhibited or done press. What's your sorry, I was reading some at the same time. What are your experiences at conventions? Tony says, what up? Shanti says, hey, Kat. Shanti says, how was it interviewing? Oh, I just scrolled up. How was it interviewing Sigourney Weaver? Were you nervous? I don't get nervous very often for interviews just because I've done a lot of them. But it was awesome interviewing Sigourney Weaver. That was just like, just a crazy moment. And she was so nice, and it just was a really good interview. If you guys want to go check it out, it's posted. That was really cool. And we didn't know she was going to be there. I think it was only supposed to be the Defenders. So it was kind of nice that we got so many people. We got some Punisher people, Sigourney, Colleen, we got, Karen. I'm not naming the actors, but the characters. So that was cool. Tony says, very cool shirt. Thank you. This is a David Finch Wonder Woman shirt. Then we got Jay who says, come on, that Marvel Knights Spider-Man comic. Yeah, you're right. That is probably the worst comic I read, was that Marvel Knights Spider-Man from a couple of years back. Forgot about that one. That other review dude, what is your greatest fear in comics? I don't know. I don't get afraid of comics. I don't know. I don't really have a greatest fear in comics. I guess if they don't exist, that would be my greatest fear. Kenneth, Kat, do you get too upset, mad when a comic book you don't like other fans and I'm sorry. Kat, do you get too upset, mad when a comic book you don't like other fans and reviewers do like? I don't get mad when other people like things that I don't like. Um, no, everyone has a right to their opinion. I would just say that I would like people to express why they like it. That's one thing. Like if I don't like it, I would like to hear why they like it and give me reasons. If they don't like something that I like, I would like to hear why they don't like it. Yeah, but I don't get mad at other people's opinions. That's definitely not something I do. Everyone, that's the great thing about art. Everyone could have a different subjective opinion. All right, moving on. The other review dude, who is your favorite person to interview? Probably my first interview ever, which was Tom DeFalco, my favorite comic book writer. I've interviewed him a couple of times. It's always amazing. Tony tells Jay your Q&As are really entertaining. They are. Go check out Jay's Q&As on Frontline. He does those monthly over there too. Tony says, Kat, what shows you're looking forward to coming in the fall? The fall, I would say Black Lightning, but that's winter. Gifted, really. That's the one I'm most looking forward to. That Kevin show looked interesting. I forget what it's called. But yeah, the Gifted out of everything I'm most looking forward to. Out of the fall shows. Also, I guess this counts as a fall show now. Runaways. Very excited for that on Hulu. The other review dude, favorite YouTube channel other than your own? My friends' YouTube channels, Real School, Other Robert, Black Critic Guy. I could count Comic Frontline, right? Everyone on Comic Frontline. So yeah, my friends' channels. Those are my favorites. Kenneth, good point, Kat, and that's the great thing about art. The other review dude, what comic book writer or writer do you think is underrated? Tom Taylor. I think he's underrated. He always, hits it out of the ballpark with his stuff. Kenneth, do you think we will get the entire run of Spider-Woman collected in a nice hardcover release? I don't know about a hardcover. I don't really think Marvel does hardcovers, but yeah, I'm sure it's going to be collected in trade. I don't know if it'll be collected in one trade, but individual trades. Just because it's a newer series and they tend to collect all of them. If you talk about older series, those are the ones that Marvel tends not to collect all the time. All right, Jay says, most anticipated show 2018 and most anticipated movie. Oh, wow. Okay. Young Justice coming back is my most anticipated. And most anticipated movie. I don't even know what movies are coming out. Incredibles is coming out in 2018, right? Yeah, Incredibles 2. If that's coming out in 2018, totally Incredibles 2. Nothing beats that. That other review dude. Sorry, I meant to put artist in the second slot. Sorry, typing on phone. No worries. Yeah, artist that's underrated. Oh man, I don't know. I feel like all the artists I really like aren't underrated. They get the praise they deserve. Maybe Cat Staggs. I'll say Cat Staggs. Kenneth, another good YouTube channel I would recommend is Hardcover Reviews. Also like watching his review videos. I've never seen his stuff before or heard, no, his stuff. Tony, Kat, do you want Emily Van Camp to come back to TV? I believe she is. She's going to be in a fall show coming up with the guy from Gilmore Girls, Logan. So she's going to be in like a medical show on Fox. So she will be back. All right, so keep coming with the questions, guys. Thank you for asking questions. I'm literally, it's supposed to be 3 minutes since I started, and we've been answering a lot of questions, which is great. But yeah, anything, my comic book stuff, TV, regular comic stuff, you can ask. And keep going. What else do I have coming up for my channel? I always try to, plug in stuff as we go along. Of course, I always have my Newsarama articles. If you guys don't check that out, I do reviews over there. Just posted a Comic Pop article. So if you guys know Sal and the crew from Comic Pop, I do articles over there. Try to do them weekly. And the most recent one I did was the 10 most anticipated Marvel Legacy titles. So you could check that out. And ended up doing that. I have a lot of conventions coming up. A ton. I think in September I have, oh, well, let me see. I could try to tell you all the conventions I have as we go through these questions, as you guys ask me questions. See, and let me know if there's any conventions you would like me to go to. Who knows what's in the plans. But as right now, stuff I do have planned, like I said, Chicago Wizard World. In September, I will not be exhibiting there, but I will be doing press most likely for Heroes Villains Fan Fest. So that's in New York, New Jersey. And then, of course, I have New York Comic Con in October. Looking forward to that. Definitely a lot of press stuff I'll be doing over there. I will not be exhibiting there, but I will be doing press that whole weekend. And then Saturday, the 14th and the 15th of October, I'll be at Fort Hamilton Comic Con. So that's in Brooklyn. So if you live in that area, I will be there. It looks like a fun event. Never been to that one. And I was actually invited as a guest to this one in November 4th and no, just November 4th. It's a superhero event at Toms River. I believe it's at Toms River High School. So I'm going to be a guest there. Really looking forward to that. And then I think the last on the list so far for this year is New Jersey Expo. I'll be doing again 18th and the 19th. So that's what I have planned so far. Who knows? Maybe there'll be more things mixed in there, but those are the conventions I have planned. Okay. Now moving on to some questions because I do see some more. So, and 15 viewers. Thank you guys for joining. I guess now that it is 8 o'clock, more people are joining in. Yeah, so the other review, do you think people are too hard on children TV shows, giving them harsh feedback when they are not intended targeted for said show? Yes, I do. 100% I do, especially with the superhero shows. Like Teen Titans Go and Ultimate Spider-Man, all these cartoons that are not targeted for those demographics. You just need to know it is targeted for kids. I'm not saying that cartoons don't have room to be targeted for everybody. We do have shows like Young Justice and Loud House and shows like that and cartoons like that that's targeted for everybody, but not every show has to be. You know, that's kind of what television's all about. It's targeted audience. So yeah, I definitely think people are a bit too harsh for those shows. Doesn't mean you can't try it out, but just know what's being targeted. Okay, let's see. We got Kenneth who says, what's your expectations for Marvel Legacy? I don't know. I'm kind of like in the middle of it. I expected more titles to be released and announced for Marvel Legacy. And I expected to be more excited for a lot of the titles, but I definitely have my picks. Like I said, on Comic Pop, I did a whole top 10, which really are the 10 I'm most anticipating. Other than that, it's like, whatever type titles, that I'll be picking up. But, those are 10 I'm really looking forward to, and you could check out that article. I won't spoil it. I have it on my, Twitter. All right. So Tony, Kat, if you could pitch an idea for a show, what would it be? See, I can't tell you that because if it happens, then everyone knows. So I can't do that. But yeah, you know, I definitely have pitches in mind. I'll just say that. Jay says, you have like Follow My Daughter and They Call Her a Dancer. Any other comics you're working on? Right now, those are the two I'm working on. I always have ideas for other comics. But nothing out of the outline range right now. So those are only two I'm physically working on. Like Follow My Daughter, I'm working on a lot of stuff with. So like I said, some outside stories we're working on. Obviously, the books that you guys are going to read, but I'm working on, you know, stuff after that. I got a lot of ideas for it. And then They Call Her a Dancer. We're just tightening stuff up. Right now, it's just a 4-issue miniseries. I do have a project coming out that I can't announce about, but it's related to the dancer, so that's going to be cool coming up. So look forward to some of these Kickstarters coming out of Short Views. I might be connected to a couple of them. So yeah, always working, have a lot of plans, but those are the two books I'm really focusing on right now. Jay Turner, do you think Teen Titans season 6 could ever happen? Never say never to anything, but with Teen Titans Go, I don't see it happening right now because, you have Teen Titans or that Teen Titans franchise being used. The other review dude, Sal from Comic Pop, says everyone has a Batman pitch. What is yours? See, once again, I can't do it. I can't tell you my Batman pitch because if I do it one day and then someone sees I've already said on the internet, it might not be picked up. So I can't tell you my pitches. But can I answer yes or no? Do I have a Batman pitch? Of course, everyone has a Batman pitch. And Batman would be a character I would love to work on, but I can't tell you it because then it won't be picked up. Kenneth, if you could replace the current writer in Rebirth Supergirl with a new writer, who would it be? Sterling Gates. That's very easy. And I would have replaced him, Steve Orlando. I don't love his voice on Supergirl, so that's just my personal opinion. Nathan Banks, do you see Flashpoint as the main storyline in the Flash movie? They said it's going to be, so that all I know is what they've said. So yeah, I guess it's happening. All right. Kenneth says, what would you like to see in Wonder Woman 2 with it being set in the 80s maybe? I don't know. I like going into those type of movies just kind of being thrown in and not overthinking about it, especially because it hasn't been scripted or anything. So at least I don't think it's been scripted yet. So I don't like to overthink it. Terrence says, do you think Titans would work better on network television or the streaming service they're creating? I'm not sure of all the details for the streaming, but hope it's good 10 episodes to binge. Better for streaming, I think. I mean, they were going to do on TNT. I didn't think that was a good channel, and network television is so different now. And I don't want the CW to have a billion shows. And if it was on the CW, I personally feel like it would have to be connected to Arrowverse and couldn't be its own thing. That's not a bad thing because I would love Thea to be in a Teen Titans show. But yeah, I think this is a good idea, and we'll see if the streaming service is utilized well and how many people jump on board. Now, that's the question that has to be answered. All right. Jay says, what was your biggest moment as a creator other than being published? Writers and artists that I look up to supporting my book. That was pretty cool. That's some of the biggest moments. Kenneth Corelli Jr., do you think the reshoots Whedon's doing for Justice League movie will make the movie better? I hope so. I love Whedon's work, so I hope he's given a good vision. I just saw a question on the bottom. I'll definitely get to it. Tony asks, Kat, would you like a Degrassi reunion season following Degrassi and Next Generation cast? Yeah, of course. I mean, I like the older Degrassi members than the newer ones, so I would like to see that. Jay Turner, do you think Jerome should be the Joker? Jerome? Which character is that? That other review dude, thought on Duke's new name. I hate it. I think it's not great. Spotlight it's called, right? So what is his name? Spotlight. Not a great name for Duke. All right, we got Jay who says, other than Batgirl, Stephanie, Supergirl, Kitty, May, and Power Pack, what comic from each of the big two would you want to write? Man, Jay, you're killing me. You just canceled every character I would. But you know what? You're doing a good job because you're making me think a bit. All right, so let's see. What comic from each big two would you want to write? DC, I've always wanted to write Carol Ferris. Always wanted to write her. I have a really good pitch in mind for Carol. So once again, can't say it, but I do have a pitch for Carol. So I would love Carol. And for Marvel, you didn't pick Spider-Gwen. I would like to write Spider-Gwen. Yeah, definitely Spider-Gwen. The other review dude says, does Mama Uno like comics? She appreciates them because of me. She doesn't read comics. I don't think she's ever read a comic besides mine. But yeah, she doesn't like comics. But she watches some of the TV shows, not as religiously as she did. But yeah, she definitely supports comics, which is great. But my dad was the one who's always interested in comics more. Kenneth, Kat, are you surprised there have not been many cancellations of books and titles from DC Rebirth? No one book's being canceled yet. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised, but I think soon we will get some cancellations. Jay Turner, I think if the reruns do well, season 6 could possibly happen. If not, hopefully we'll get some answers. I just, especially with Young Justice in the works, I just don't see a Teen Titans season 6. But again, who knows? But I don't see it happening, especially because the reruns are at 6 in the morning. They're not really at a convenient time to watch for most people. SM Down, she doesn't watch Gotham. Yeah, I don't. I don't know what that's related to, but I don't watch Gotham. Maybe that was from a question before. Tony, what show would you love to be casted on? I don't know. I'm not an actor, but I don't know. If I was an actor, I think that'd be an easier question. Shanti, do you ever experience burnout while creating and or writing? Yeah, I think so. You know, if you write a lot, which I do, you definitely have some burnout. And then you got to step back and say, why am I writing this? What gave me these creative juices, and kind of jump back on that, or just take a break, not not a week's break, but, take a couple hours, or just take an hour, listen to music or something, and kind of go back to it. That always helps. All right, and we got 19 viewers. Thank you, guys. Keep coming with the questions on that. Wander This World, I think you're new onto the Q&A, so thank you for joining. With Marvel Legacy, what would you like to see them do with Nova? Keep both Ryder and Alexander, or go with just one? I'm not a Richard Ryder fan, so I don't have much of an opinion on that Nova, but I do like Sam Alexander. But at the same time, I guess his comic's not selling as well. So I don't know. I guess put them on teams. I don't know if we need a Nova book. Let Nova rest a little bit, and then put them both on teams. I think that'd be a good answer, which Sam Alexander is on Champions right now, so you have him there. And then Richard Ryder, just put him on a team, like I said. Jay Turner, do you think Darkseid will be the main villain of Young Justice Outsiders? I mean, after season 2, it's definitely could be. SM Down, the question about Jerome being the joke. Oh, okay, that's Gotham. There you go. Thank you, SM Down. Jay Turner says, my dad collects comics. Jay says, would you like a main DC Universe Young Justice book or tie-in to the animated series? I would say main universe Young Justice. I would want a bit more, because we're getting the cartoons, so we don't necessarily need a tie-in, but we don't have the Young Justice comic, so that would be nice. All right, Kenneth says, once Doomsday Clock and the Oz effect is done, Kat, do you think the DC Universe being different or more of the same following Rebirth? I mean, I'm sure we're going to get some differences, or at least some answers after that. And Flash the Shapeshifter says, I know you're excited about spoiler being in Young Justice, The Outsiders. Do you think Robin is Tim or Damian? I think it's Tim, the one we saw, because they're all characters we've seen previously. So I would say Tim. Jay says, what artist would love to collaborate on and DC or any Marvel title? Okay, so, I mean, I would love to collaborate with Francis Manapul. He's my favorite artist. I would love for that. And hey, that Carol Ferris book. Francis Manapul. Spanish Heart says, do you see Warner Brothers tackling a Wonder Woman TV series? Not at this point, especially because she's doing so well in the movies. They really need her for the movies. So at this point, I don't see a Wonder Woman show. I maybe see Wonder Woman characters in the other shows, especially because Titans is coming out. Maybe we'll see Donna or Cassie, but I don't see a Wonder Woman show right now. I know a while back they were planning an Amazon show, but I don't think that's in the cards right now. Tony says, what inspires you to write? I don't know if there's just like one thing that inspires me. I would say other people's stories inspire me. Seeing those other stories, it really inspires me to create my own. So yeah, other people's creations, I would say. Jay Turner, how do you feel about the 3 Joker storyline? I don't feel much with it because we haven't gotten any answers with it. Someone we got in DC Rebirth. I'm sure they'll come back to it. I think they're coming back with it with Metal, which so far what I've seen with Metal, I haven't enjoyed as much. But Metal issue 1 is coming out this week, so we'll see if I enjoyed that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing with the Joker storyline. Ashanti, is your dad currently reading? My dad tends just to collect Silver Age books. He just reads my comic, so he doesn't read any of the current stuff. And he watches the shows, so he'll watch, like, the CW shows. He used to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think he stopped watching that, but he watches, like, iZombie, Supergirl, Arrow, and The Flash. Trying to think if there's any others. He doesn't watch any of the Netflix shows, although I gotta get them to watch the Netflix shows. They don't use the streaming sites as much. All right, well, Kenneth says, did you think the artwork improved in Supergirl issue 12 with the recent issue? I thought it was better. Go check out Comic episode. I reviewed it there and gave my thoughts there, so I don't want to spoil it. And I'm sure we'll talk about it on Frontline Live. I don't know if I'm sure, but, maybe we'll have a chance to talk about Frontline Live, too. The Omnitron, do you think that a Captain Atom show could work on the CW? Probably not. I don't think Captain Atom's really that popular of a character, so I don't think so. Jay, do you like DC's approach keeping comics, animated TV, and movies separate, or Marvel's keeping them all tied together? I like DC's approach more because I think you could be more creative. Marvel, I think, is like, well, we have to do this, and it has to be attached to that and that and that. So, you can't do as many properties with that. But I mean, I think there's room for both strategies. Flash the Shapeshifter, I don't know why, but even though I like the finales for Flash and Supergirl, I'm not excited for this season of the Arrowverse. I'm excited for Arrow. I don't know, I'm excited for all three, but I see where you're coming from. I don't know if there's that moment where you're like, I need the next episode. Because I would say maybe only Arrow I really felt that with its finale, at least. Jay Turner, do you think the Joker would have been in The Dark Knight Rises had Heath Ledger lived? Yes, I do. After the popularity of the Joker, I think we would have seen him. Kenneth says, also, I'm glad in Rebirth Supergirl they're starting to move away from the origins and focus more on Supergirl's adventures. That's just a comment. Tony, do you think we would ever see Supergirl in the DCEU? Yeah, it's totally possible, especially with Flash being there and other characters we've seen in the Arrowverse. I think it's possible. Or maybe like a Power Girl type character. Wander This World, you may have already discussed, but thoughts on Earth 1 Green Lantern premise. I'm excited. I think it's something different. But it works totally for Hal Jordan's character. So I'll definitely be picking it up. I read every Earth 1 book and reviewed every Earth 1 book. So, well, actually don't think I've reviewed every single one, but I've read all of them and reviewed a good amount of them. So I'll definitely be reviewing that one. Jay, what animator or live action show would Marvel bring to a streaming service? Oh, wow. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting if they brought back Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That could be cool. Bring back a cartoon or Spectacular Spider-Man and do a revival. Yamitron, I asked about Captain Atom because I really think they could spin out a new show with him and focus on a team based on the Charlton Comics heroes like Blue Beetle, Captain Atom, Question, Nightshade. But see, all those characters are kind of C-rated, except Blue Beetle, I guess, is maybe B-rated, and Question's B-rated. But I just don't think they're big enough characters really hold their own show. Shadow King, seeing all the low sales with all the Marvel books, do you ever see Disney selling off the... No way. Disney will never sell Marvel because of the movies. It doesn't matter about the comics in that regard. If it was just the comics, I still don't think Disney would sell. Look at ESPN. Disney's not even selling ESPN, and that's going down. That's going down quick. So, yeah, that's never going to happen. Andy, I don't know if you were already asked, but what are you looking forward to the most about the Defenders this Friday? Well, check out my review. I got to see the first 4 episodes already, so I can't really talk too much about it. But I did do a review about it. So if you want an advanced review of my general thoughts on the first 4 episodes, go check that out. I will have a series review also. Jay Turner, do you think the Spectre will ever appear on TV or in the movies? I mean, maybe in the TV shows. SM Down, do you know if all the original cast and producers came back for Young Justice? Yes, they all did. Kenneth, Kat, what was the reason for a long time the CWDC TV could not use certain characters? Embargoes, and now I guess Jeff Johns, I think, is a big player of letting those embargoes loosen a bit with the movie universe. Nathan, will the MCU address the ending of Spider-Man? If not, how would you do it? Yeah, of course they're going to. You're not just going to leave that as a cliffhanger. Jay, what shows, movies would you want to see on the upcoming Disney digital service? I don't know if I need a Disney digital service, but I guess like I would like to see actual original shows, or shows they picked up. I think a really smart move would be bringing back Girl Meets World. I know a lot of people like that show, so stuff like that I think would get people to watch this Disney digital service. And this is a hardcore Disney fan saying that. The Omnitron, well, Legends is mostly made of BC list characters, but to have another show like that, and also those characters were built up in other Arrowverse shows, so especially Sarah, they became fan favorites. So that's why that works better. They definitely wouldn't do another show like that, though. I just don't see it happening. Red Magic says, I love you. Well, thank you. The Omnitron, so I think it would be... okay, so you just explained more about that. So Jay says, what past series will you want to watch on the DC digital service? I think like Batman the Anime series, I would really like to rewatch. Justice League, what else? Smallville would be nice to have on there. Those are things I can think on the top of my head. I actually like the Batman. I would rewatch that. Andy says the director of Annabelle Creations now directing Shazam movie. Thoughts? I didn't see Annabelle Creations. I don't have any thoughts, but I know it's a horror movie, so that's kind of weird. Kenneth, do you think Young Justice comic series will come out of Rebirth as an ongoing series or digital series? I think ongoing. Yeah, I would say ongoing. Tony, Kat, if you had a chance to write for a movie or TV show, what will it be? TV for me. I'm more of a fan of the TV medium. SM. Yeah, but ESPN makes more for them than other thing Disney has when they have $15 billion a year would let 15 billion. I don't know what. Sorry, I lost your sentence. No, ESPN is not doing well. They really don't make anything for Disney. They're not doing well at all. The only thing ESPN has that's like Sports Center in Florida. But other than that, they really don't have much. So, and Marvel's comic sales, again, it doesn't affect the movie sales. They're dominating box offices. They're making a lot of money through Marvel's movies and TV shows. The comics are not even adding into it. So, yeah, I would not worry about that. Flash the Shapeshifter. Blue Beetle has been getting a small push since the Justice League vs. Titans film. I kind of hope he shows up in the Titans TV show. That I could see happening, him being in Titans TV show, depending on what direction they go with Titans. Jay, what past shows would you want to see get a revival? Oh, in general, I don't know. Name a show, Jay, and I'll let you know if I want a revival for it. Shadow King, after the Doomsday Clock crossover, do you think Rebirth Banner will disappear? I don't know. It depends what happens with Doomsday. Ashanti B, have a good night, Kat, and thank you for answering my questions, especially about burnout. You have a good tip for reminding myself of why I am making art. Well, thank you, Ashanti. I'm glad that I was able to help you out. Thank you for joining the show. So Tony says, Kat, do you think Sarah will ever meet Black Siren? Yeah, I think it's a possibility. Now that Black Siren's a series regular. And that Legends has shorter episodes than Arrow, so maybe Kitty Lots will have more time to guest on Arrow. SM Down, Lois and Clark would be cool doing a WB service. Sure. I'm not a hardcore Lois and Clark fan, though. Although Jay is, so you could talk to him in the comments. Omnitron, do you think DC and Warner Brothers is being ridiculous with cutting Green Lantern out of so many things? I do, since I really want to see Hal Jordan at least in the CW. I think they're just waiting for the movies. That's what they're waiting for with Green Lantern, and hopefully those will be a hit for them. See what direction they go. Jay Turner, how would you feel if Red X appeared in the live-action Titan series? Be interesting if they take the lore from Teen Titans to cartoon. Shadow King, if you could write a DC book, what will it be? I did answer that before, and I said Carol Ferris, because Jay gave me limitations. But I would give Stephanie Brown would be, I think, my utmost still for DC. As I'm down, according to Forbes, ESPN's making $15 billion a year. I just looked it up. I don't know the exact specifics for ESPN, but I look into what's going on. It's like I do know that it's not doing well. But yeah, maybe that's just not enough money for Disney. Like I said, I know it's not doing well. I would have to look at the exact articles. Can't do it right now, but I would look at the other aspects of why ESPN is not doing well. Kenneth, if DC could bring back one DC character or a number of characters in Rebirth, who would you want to see? I believe I did a topic video on that, so you could check that out. The Omnitron, do you think the Titans show would spin off other shows based on Titans characters? I hope not. I feel like let's just concentrate on the one show before spin-offs. Maybe like I could see, because I don't know if you recommended, the Doom Patrol I could see happening like that, but I wouldn't want to have Beast Boy on a separate show. I'd say focus on Titans first. All right. Jace is bouncing off of Jay Turner's question. Would you want to see Red X on Young Justice? I don't know. I think I would rather see Red X on Titans, but yeah, I mean, that would be cool on Young Justice too. Terrence, does Smallville still hold up over time? I find it extremely campy, but whenever I rewatch it, remind me of why it was my favorite show. Yeah, I think it holds up for the most part. I mean, it's like you have to know what time period it was. It kind of started this whole superhero renaissance. So yeah, some of the effects aren't great, but it's still a fun show to watch. I definitely think it's easy to rewatch. Shadow King, do you think Disney will only keep the rights to make Marvel movies and sell the comics? I mean, I think the big reason why they really love Marvel is because of the movies, but I just don't think they get involved with the comic side of stuff. Tony, Kat, if Disney buys X-Men, who would you want to see play Kitty? I don't know. I get that question a lot, obviously, because I'm a huge Kitty fan. I don't know who I'd want to play Kitty. Jay Turner, do you think the Joker should have appeared in Beware the Batman? I didn't watch Beware the Batman, so I can't tell you. But I think that was more about like the D-list Batman villains than anything. Flash, the Shapeshifter, says he wants to see Shazam in IMAX. Not the biggest fan, but the moment he yells Shazam in theaters, I lose my mind. I guess Jay Turner meant Batman Beyond about the Joker. I'm not a huge Batman Beyond fan, so I don't have an opinion on that. Since the Ray and Freedom Fighter in this Omnitron, since the Ray and Freedom Fighters is an alternate Earth, and there are so many alternate Earths in the CW/DCU, do you think we are going to be building up to a Crisis on Infinite Earth event? I think it's possible. Spanish Heart, do you think Sony should go on without Spider-Man in their movie universe if they can't get Tom Holland? And I think they should give up on all the Spider-Man movies. Shadow King, when the Flash movie comes out, do you think the TV show will stop? No way. No, it's not happening. Kenneth, do you think we'll see a cameo from Supergirl and Young Justice Season 3 with our TV show being so good on the CW? I don't think Young Justice and Supergirl TV show are really related at all. Jay says you also have to look into spending over earnings for ESPN. Exactly. See, I didn't know the exact details of ESPN, but I knew it was doing bad. So that's why. Thank you, Jay. That's a good example. Nathan also says, I agree with you, Kat, about ESPN. Fox Sports 1 is gaining momentum and beating them at their own game. If I knew more about sports, I'm sure I could talk even more about the ESPN stuff. Flash the Shapeshifter, I forgot about New 52 Superboy. I don't know what that was about. Jay says, what other Titans characters would you want to see on the Titans show? I I know she's not a Titans character, but when the show was first announced, they announced Barbara, and I really want to see that still. So, Barbara. I would like to see Barbara Gordon. Or Cassie. I would really like to see Cassie Sandsmark. Omnitron, I heard a rumor that Jeff Johns is actually trying to get Shazam changed to Captain Thunder as a means to reintroduce an entire brand under Rebirth. That's interesting. I'd rather just his name be Shazam. Jay, what other, or because they can't use Captain Marvel anymore, I guess. Jay, what other female DC character should get a movie? I mean, I'm just happy for Batgirl getting a movie. I want to see what they do with Batgirl first, and then see what other female characters I would like. Maybe Black Canary. Black Canary could kind of be cool, or just Birds of Prey in general. Shadow King, do you think Marvel Legacy will be any good? I hope so. Omnitron, did you hear that Whedon has confirmed that the Hall of Justice will be in the Justice League? Cool. Tony, Kat, do you think that Emily Van Camp character in Revenge would fit in the Pretty Little Liars world if they crossed over? No, I think they're two definitely different type of shows. I don't think they would work out together. I think Emily would kill off the Pretty Little Liars. Shadow King, or beat them up, because I don't think Emily actually ever killed anybody. Shadow, what do you think the biggest problem with Marvel is right now? I think they just have oversaturation. There's way too many titles. So yeah, I think they need to narrow down what exactly they want to do. And I think they canceled titles a little bit too early. SM Down, would it be in Fox's best interest to buy X-Men merchandising rights so they can make money of toys and other products and just rely on money from the movies? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if they could do that, they would want that. Terrence says, do you think the Disney streaming service will be successful? There's so many now that it's going to become a money grab. I think it depends on what they do. If they have original content, yeah, I think it'll be successful. But if it doesn't, I don't know how successful it'll be. And that's Disney. You know, if Disney can't do it, I don't know. You know, I don't know what other company can. Omnitron, if the CW is doing a Crisis on Infinite Earths, what do you think the Earths combination will be? More than Supergirl's Earth, or perhaps even have Superman on Legends of Tomorrow on the Legends team? I don't think we'll see Superman on the Legends team, but I don't know. It's hard to tell because we don't have a setup for Crisis yet. I could answer that once we start setting up for that, if they start setting up for it. Flash the Shapeshifter. Watch the first episode of Smallville. Got so many vibes from the Arrowverse. Jay Turner, do you agree that the DC animated universe had the best Joker death? In which, when did the Joker die in the anime universe? Let me know, and I'll tell you if it was the best death. I'm blanking out right now. Kenneth, Kat, it's been said a lot over the years. Do you ever foresee a big comic crash happening? Not right now. I don't see it happening. But I could see a shift maybe to digital happening. I do see the comic book industry changing. But with the success of superheroes, I don't see it crashing right now. Obviously, it could be a possibility. But if it survived the 90s, I think it could survive what's going on now. Jay, they can use Captain Marvel, just not put the name Captain Marvel anywhere on the cover or merchandise. So that's hard. Yeah, I'd rather them just stick with Shazam. Shadow, how would you fix Marvel Comics? I talked about that just now. The Omnitron, also in ongoing rumors, Henry Cavill's going to be pulling a Christopher Reeve Superman portrayal for Justice League due to Whedon not caring much for Man of Steel. I guess we'll see. Tony, Kat, would you like a Buffy and Arrow crossover? I think that'd be weird since Buffy's been off air for so many years. Jay, what villain who hasn't been used would you like to see used on DC TV shows? Oh man. I would like to see Sportsmaster since we had Artemis on Arrow. That'd be kind of cool. Yami-Tron, Joker died in Batman Beyond: The Return of the Joker. See, I don't like Batman Beyond, so I don't have an opinion on that. Shadow King says, what's my favorite Joker death? I did like the Scott Snyder Joker death recently. See, I I don't like Batman Beyond. And thank you guys for answering where the Joker died. The other review dude says, is this your favorite room in the house? Yes, it is actually. Everyone calls it my office. It is my favorite room. It's a very comfy room. Omnitron, the Captain Thunder thing is because that is the original name by Fawcett Comics, went with Captain Marvel due to a short-lived comic named Captain Thunder. I did not know that, but still don't really like the name very much. I just don't think it rolls off the tongue. Nathan, do you see the Skrulls being the main villains in Avengers 4? I definitely could see that. No, I can't. Thanos is the main villain. Trying to think and Captain Marvel comes after. So yeah, Captain Marvel, I think, what a number of Avengers are we even up to? Okay, Avengers 4 is after Infinity War. So yeah, post Infinity War, yes, not during Infinity War though. SM Down, well, technically, the Civil War was kind of like an Avengers movie, anyways. We'll move on. SM Down could do comic. Okay, they're just talking about the Captain Marvel thing, and that was to Jay. Kenneth, Kat, do you think we'll ever see Batman or Batman show on DC TV? We do. Gotham. Tony, Kat, who's your favorite female villain? I don't know. I'm not, I don't have a lot of favorite villains. Favorite female villain. I guess Harley, but she's not even a villain anymore. But I guess I would pick Harley Quinn. Shadow, have you ever played a Batman Arkham game? Yeah, I played Arkham Asylum, but then after that, I didn't really play it. Jay, favorite Z-list character for Marvel and DC? I don't know. Favorite Z-list? Oh, man. Oh, remember Hank, the agent of Hydra? Can I pick him? I'd say he's Z-list. Hank, the agent of Hydra. Omnitron, a friend of mine actually wants them to call Captain Shazam. That could be interesting. Kind of mesh of both. Yeah, that one could work. The other review dude, would you love to see a scene in the next Avengers where Thor doesn't understand anyone except Peter Quill because he doesn't have a translator? I don't know. I feel like that would just kind of be confusing to pull off. All right, well, keep coming with the questions. Yeah, let's go to last round of questions now. So last burst of questions, guys, and then we'll start wrapping up. But this is always a lot of fun. And in September, I'll have obviously another Q&A. Try to start them around 8. But then when the shows start, I have to start a little bit later. Because there's always a new television show on during the fall. They just keep adding even more. But yeah, I will be reviewing the superhero shows once again. Flash might be different though, because I will be not able to watch Flash on time. So I have to see if I'm going to review Flash the next day, what I'm going to do with that, depending on if you guys watch it or not. I'll end up doing the Flash the next day. I don't know what I'm going to do with Flash, but we'll be reviewing Arrow. I'll review Legends through the podcast. I'll be reviewing Supergirl. I want to review The Runaways. Like I said, I'll have a Defenders series review or season review up when I finish the show. So look forward to that. I'll have a Spider-Man review, like I said. So yeah, we got a couple of shows coming up. Let me know what you would want me to review. Obviously, I've been consistent with my comic reviews, so check all that stuff out. And yeah, I told you my convention stuff, told you all my articles stuff coming up. So got that all going on. So yeah, all right. I think I gave you guys enough time to ask some questions. I got Brant in the comments. Awesome. Talking more about Captain Marvel. Kenneth, do you think we'll see Phil Coulson again in the MCU movies again? Depends on what happens with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Tony, Kat, what other show would you like to see crossover with Big Bang Theory? I would love one of the DC TV shows to cross over, or at least have one of the actors show up on there. Omnitron, are you a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan? I am not. Flash, Behind in Secret Empire, did it end? No, it hasn't. I think we have like 1 or 2 more issues left. I think 2. Shadow King, what's your favorite Batman story of all time? Oh man, I don't know. It usually relates to honestly Batgirl, but so much easier to say a Barbara Gordon story I really like because I love the Bat family and I love Batman too. But I don't know. I would have to think. There's so many great Batman stories. Recently, I really liked the Gotham Girl storyline. That was cool. I love what Tom King's been doing with Batman. Brant, what is your most anticipated fall premiere? Returning or new show? Returning? I would have to say Supergirl because I've been loving Supergirl. New show, The Gifted and The Runaways. Jay Turner, I find it interesting that in almost every Batman film, one of the main villains always dies. True. SM Down, before Young Justice Season 3 starts, can you do another Young Justice special with all the other people who did the Young Justice recaps? I know not everyone's doing recaps anymore, so maybe I could get something with Chris. But I know Mango Siren is not doing Young Justice stuff, and in Wonderland Soul, she doesn't do videos anymore either. I keep them in contact though. I just recently talked to Wonderland Soul, not recently, but when the Young Justice news came out, we had a couple of tweets to each other. Haven't talked to Mango Siren since that, and then Chris I keep in contact with. But we'll see. Maybe one day we'll bring the crew back together. Especially Chris. I'll try to bring Chris together because that's the person I keep most in contact with. All right, Kenneth, are you looking forward to the new X-Men TV series, The Gifted? Yeah, I just said that. This is my most anticipated show. The Omnitron, am I the only one who thinks Defenders from a setup standpoint feels like TMNT? See, I don't know much about TMNTs. I can't tell you about that. Flash the Shape Chapter, what's your favorite X-Men? Kitty Pryde. The other review dude, did you hear about the death of the stunt woman on Deadpool 2? I did hear about that. It's very sad news. SM Down, my favorite Batman story was Mask of the Phantasms. That was the movie. Jay says, what is your favorite Hollywood legend? The ghost on the set of Three Men and a Baby. Oh, okay. Oh, man. I don't know. So does it have to be like movies or can it be like TV shows, movies, music? Because I know music is really easy. All right, my favorite music one, I'll tell you, because of course going to be the Beatles. But the legend, or I guess the hoax, the conspiracy that they replaced Paul McCartney. And it's not the real Paul McCartney, and that Abbey Road signified, because he was barefoot, that they replaced him with another Paul McCartney. So that was an interesting conspiracy. So I guess that's my favorite, I guess. Shadow King, would you like the DC TV universe and the movie one to be the same? No. Easy answer. Jay Turner, I think that the question about the original Teen Titans show will be answered one day. Maybe. Tony, Kat, what year has had the best TV? I don't know. I can't tell you. I would have to look back. Every year brings something new. The Omnitron, have you ever read Justice League Shogun of Steel? It's basically, I haven't read that. Jay says, hey to Brant. Kenneth says, my last question, Kat, are you going to buy any of the new Star Wars Last Jedi toys on Force Friday? Probably not on that day, but I already have some Last Jedi stuff. I have some shirts. I got something at Comic-Con. I got the Rey and Luke action figures exclusive from Hasbro, so I already have some stuff. TV, movie, anything. So I answered that then, Jay. That was my Beatles one. Shadow King, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? I really like Force Awakens. That's my favorite. I know that's probably a controversial answer, but that's my favorite. Flash the Shapeshifter. My brother wants to know, what's your thoughts on Pixie X-Men? I don't think she gets enough love. That's my answer. They don't like to show her very often. The other review dude, if you could rewatch any movie again for the first time, what movie would it be? Incredibles or The Little Mermaid. Jay Turner says it was nice talking to you. It was nice talking to you too. And then the last question, it looks like, unless you guys want to jump in with one or two more questions, but Jay, looks like it's going to be the last question. What's your favorite DC event and Marvel event? Marvel's really hard. I don't know what my favorite Marvel event is. Yeah, I really don't know my favorite Marvel event just because we've gotten so much fatigue. Because I mean, a lot of events I guess I liked was like just story arcs. I don't really know if they were considered events back then, but like the Phoenix Saga or the Dark Phoenix Saga, Kraven's Last Hunt. I don't really know if they were considered events, but they're huge story arcs. And then DC Easy Identity Crisis. I love that comic. I know that's a controversial one, but I love the noir aspect that we get to see in the narrative. Some really great character stuff in that book too. I got a question from Jay Turner. Do I like Oreos? Yeah, I like Oreos. Tony, what shows that ended too soon you think can be revived? I don't know what can be revived. I think a lot of them are already being revived. Like you had Veronica Mars, Twin Peaks. I don't know. I would love to see Roswell, that spin-off happen. That'd be great. This is a great last question, so I'm gonna make this the last question, and this is Brand's favorite potato chip. I gotta go with sour cream Lay's potato chips. That's my favorite. It always has been. So there you go, guys. That was the Q&A. Thank you for joining. Shadow King says thanks for your time. Thanks for your time. I appreciate you guys all watching. So thank you, guys. I'll be back for another monthly Q&A next month. I'll announce on Twitter and Facebook when it's happening. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Inno, and I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.